Okay, so the plan is we're going to install an outlet down there. So this is just a little half wall here. So what we're going to do is we're going to install an outlet down there. Typically outlets are installed between 12 and 18 inches above the floor. So I'm going to probably install it as high as I can because, well, I'll show you my difficulty. Let's go to the other side here. We're going to tap off this outlet right here. I know from my, luckily I took videos and pictures of this bathroom as I was remodeling it. And there is a stud right here. And also my stud finder, that's what it showed. So this outlet box is nailed into this stud. This is all open here. So on the other side, we would have the stud right here. And then this is all open. Okay, but here's one problem. If this was all open down and it was a standard stud, it'd be easy because I could just cut a hole and then fish up and catch that outlet. The problem I have is that there is a wood cross stud going this way, and so I marked it here. So what I'm going to end up having to do, and I'm trying not to do drywall work because I don't want to do drywall work and painting. It's just what a pain. I'm going to get the outlet in, cut the hole, and see if I can get a drill bit up in there and drill through that stud and then fish the wire up there. That's the plan. We'll see. One other thing I should mention is you're supposed to use a GFI outlet for the toilet. I'm not going to install a GFI outlet because I know from when I did this project, I ran my wiring from the basement. I ran a new circuit up and over, and so this is a dedicated 15 amp circuit on a GFI, which then feeds that guy, which then will feed the other one on the other side of the wall. As long as you have a GFI in the front of your circuit, in other words, this is connected directly to the circuit on the panel. So the first thing that the wiring from the panel goes into is this GFI. Then these become loads on that GFI. So I don't necessarily have to install another GFI outlet there because that outlet and this outlet are protected by this GFI. Okay, just got a few things prepped here. I turned this circuit off and at the breaker and pulled this outlet out, and I was able to work this knockout in a little bit with just a sharp screwdriver and a blade. I was able to get that in, so I'll pop that out. Now in Illinois we're supposed to use conduit, or at least jacketed whips, steel jacketed whips. The problem with this retrofit is, in order for me to get this wire into there, that'll be really difficult if I was going to use one of these armored whips. So because it's my home and because I know what's safe, and I'm going to go ahead and just use Romex. But this is something I had about a 4-foot piece of this. This is actually an outdoor rated Romex, a 14 gauge. So this will be more than safe enough. Now, the only thing with Romex you got to worry about with these metal boxes is they can have sharp edges on them, which you don't want to just run the Romex into it and have it eventually maybe rub off. And so this one's kind of a blind. I can't get to the other side of that without cutting into the wall. So I'm going to put this plastic insert in to protect the wire from rubbing against any sharp edges. Okay, so that's that side. Now on the other side, I've already marked my box cut out here. I'm going to use a retrofit box, and fortunately it is steel, because even though it doesn't need to be with Romex, with a ground included, but that's what they sell here. So this is a retrofit box. So I've put a little clamp on here that'll protect the wire on this side. So what the idea is, I cut that hole out, and the reason this is a retrofit box because it has these little wings, right? You squeeze them in, and I guess I will tip it in there and push it all the way in and let the wings fan out. That screw in the middle there will screw it down and tighten these wings around the inside of the drywall and make it fit nice and tight. Now, how am I going to deal with that this crossboard here, and we'll see if this works. This is what I rigged up. This is a right-angled drill bit with an extension and a paddle bit here. So hopefully what I can do is through this hole without having to cut any drywall, do any drywall work, tip this up and in and drill up through that cross stud there, and hopefully put a nice hole in there, and then I'll be able to feed that Romex up into there and connect the circuit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that hole out with my saw, and we'll see how it goes. Well, I couldn't really film it because it was back and forth frustration, but it was basically just a combination of right angle drill bits and just feeding them in and getting it done. It's what a pain, what a pain. But I got a nice hole drilled. Also, it helps to have a little mirror and a flashlight where you can see whether your hole's through or not. That helps too. I always keep these in my plumbing kit. Alright, this process was a little too difficult to film, but so let me try to recap. I got this fiberglass wire running kit from Harbor Freight, the shorter 11-foot one, and it comes in a large size and this smaller size, which can go up to 11 feet. It's good for most things. And what it is a bunch of threaded fiberglass rods that are flexible, somewhat flexible. They're somewhat rigid, but they're somewhat flexible. So they're perfect for shoving into the wall and trying to, feed a wire. I like that better than those tape spools. It comes with this end, and I think normally this is even more flexible to go through the outlet. But I decided what the better thing to do would be to use my mirror and my flashlight and get it this side of the rod up into the hole, and then I kept threading more extensions on until it was up into the hole. Then I grabbed my son and he took the little hook end of it, and as I fed it through, he found the end. He was able to hook it and pull it through our hole, and then on the end of it I looped the ground part through that, and then we just pulled it right through. So we got a successful thing. I swear I probably spent just as much time that I would have drywalling, but maybe not. Drywalling takes forever, and then painting and priming and all that stuff. So I got to avoid all that. So the wire's through. I'll slip on the 1/2-inch grommet, the plastic grommet in here in a bit, but I'll go ahead and wire up the other side of it. All right, well, everything's cleaned up, everything's checked, and the power's working, and the bidet is reinstalled and retested. I've trained the family on it, so we're ready to use it now. So, guess we can throw out the toilet paper. Thanks for watching.